Meeting to order. If you'll indulge me by standing and saying pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We do have a forum. Legislator Aileen McCollum is excused. And everyone else is in attendance. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes of June 12th, 2025.
A second.
And a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. There is no appointments till the full ledge meeting. And with that being said, we'll get into the department updates with Cayuga.
Good evening. Just a couple quick things tonight, plus one hopefully short resolution. Update quickly on our Bella grant, Brownfield Opportunity Grant. We had our bid opening for our consultants yesterday. That went very well. We got 3 public bids. We're hoping to bring a resolution in August for that consultant to be hired, awarded, and start in September. And our strategic plan public meetings this week are going very, very well. We're 2 out of 3. We're going to IRA as soon as I'm done here tonight. And this is around what I have for you is our public survey, the first of 4 short surveys launched earlier this week. So I'll give you a link to the survey as well as the project website. Our meetings have been well attended. People have really enjoyed the interactive activities at the end. It's really our friendly competition of smart growth Jeopardy game. So that's going really well. So I'll have more to report out on that's going next month. Other than that, unless you have questions on anything else in my report, I can talk about the resolution if you'd like.
Anybody got any?
I just was curious. Yes, you did vote yesterday.
We did post this yesterday.
What was the number of people that?
It was a little bit lower than I'd liked. We had like 15, 16 folks, but it's not atypical for like a kickoff introductory meeting where they don't have a lot to respond to. But the folks that came spent a lot of time giving us a lot of written comments and feedback and participating in the activity. So that was really good.
On what they value to be important around the county and for, is that
Yes.
what?
So we asked 4 of the survey questions, and those are really focused around what do you value and love the most about where you live and the county? What concerns you the most about where you live in the county? What would you like to make sure that we address in the strategic plan? And kind of like just generally what are your hopes for the future of the county? So to kind of kick off that survey question.
You've been getting good feedback? Have you been getting good feedback?
We have been getting some really good feedback, yes. And things that we kind of knew, but a couple of things that maybe we didn't. The lock meeting was also very well attended on Tuesday. We had closer to 20 people there. And surprisingly, we're doing a map where everyone's putting a sticker roughly where they live. And we're keeping it for all the meetings. So we can kind of see distribution of who's attending and where we need to do future outreach. So far, most folks have been Auburn and South, so we're hoping to capture a lot more folks from the northern half of the county when we go to IRA later this evening. But it's been really good. Pleasantly surprised.
Good. Excellent. Guess we can get into the resolution.
Okay. So this is a resolution for a new 5-year contract. Some of you might remember, some of you may not. The county, through our FLOPA funds, pays for a USGS gauge station monitoring lake levels at the inlet, south end of Westfield Lake. City of Auburn has the one up here at the north end at the outlet. USGS always has a portion of the funds to cover for us. It's never quite enough, but our FLOPA funds, thankfully, have always been able to cover the balance. This year with the new contract, we had the opportunity to upgrade the gauge station and actually, even though it's still an increase, reduce the overall cost that USGS was going to charge us by upgrading our station. The city's going to do the same with theirs. So we'll now have video monitoring, live response. If there's a clog, there's a blockage, there's high water rising, something very useful for the Moravia area when we've got water issues down there. So we'll be able to respond much faster if there's an issue. There's also language in the contract and in the resolution, as we've done every 5-year increments, that if for some reason we don't get our annual FLOPA funds, if that goes away and or we can't find other non-county funds for the gauge station, we can terminate the contract. So there's no county funds going into the payment for this gauge station. It is covered 100% our share through the FLOPA funds that Michelle advocates for and receives for us every year.
Is this water depth that you're measuring?
It's lake level.
Yep.
Right, so the inflow into the
Yep.
lake. So when we have high water
Yep.
events, if there is logs, trees, things that are down that are gonna create a blockage to create that water to rise even more, we'll actually be able to see it in real time now with video instead of just getting flow data.
Because this is
Or
a
lake
risk,
level
a risk
data.
area for
Yes.
flood,
Yes, a high risk area
And
down
it's-
in flat.
not anything to do with lake quality or any of that. This is really, okay.
Yep, and a note that Michelle gave me for you guys is that our department has actually been using a USGS flow gauge station since the late 1980s to monitor that end of the lake and the lake levels and the flow into the lake. I didn't realize it was that long either, but.
And the alerts come to who? I mean,
The alerts will come to, Michelle gets them, the city gets them. I believe they also go to the municipalities. It should go to EMO. There's a wide
Okay.
list of who will get those alerts.
You can sign up for them too, because
Yes.
Oh.
anybody can sign up for the USGS alert, so we get them to, it helps with lake monitoring. The city uses it extensively.
Right. Yeah, and Michelle Wonderlick from my office, Seth Jensen from the city, worked with USGS on this. And Seth is very excited about the upgrade so that his folks can go and respond in real time if there's a blockage and prevent hopefully some flooding coming out that.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Elaine. Asked my question. I'll entertain a motion for PL one.
I'll move it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried, thank you. Next up, all ready.
I am ready.
All right.
Good evening. One of the things I want to highlight from my report really is that our summer program has started officially July 1st. We have 70 kids working through employment and training throughout the county. We had 115 applications this year, which is the highest we have had since before COVID, and the first time we've had to turn kids away since before COVID. And that's even with reducing our summer hours for the kids to work 30. We've reduced it to 25 to help more kids, but we had to turn kids away. I do want to give special props or thanks to 3 county departments that are participating in the summer program this year. Buildings and Grounds has always participated, and we've given them 7 workers, laborers. This year we have Highway Department and the Department of Social Services participating for the first time. Highway Department have 5 kids. We have 4 laborers there, and we have a clerical person. And then the Department of Social Services newly participating. We've placed 2 youth there to help out in the HEAP processing. So that actually really helped fill some of their gaps, and that's really great. So I'm very happy that we have 3 county departments participating now. That's good. And also Cayuga Community College has been longstanding work site for us. They are actually employing, we're employing and we're providing them with 5 youth, 1 maintenance, 2 custodial, 1 in the IT department, and then 1 in the art department, which is new. So thank you to the college for that too.
Always a good experience.
Awesome.
Always.
Great. That's great to hear. So between the new county departments and the college's support, we also have 10 new work sites this year, equaling 32 total. So 32 work sites in the county from northern end to the southern end with 10 new work sites is great, and 70 kids. I would have loved to put all 115 kids to work if we could, find some extra money. We could have done that, but we did have to turn kids away for the first time in 5 years. That's good and bad because it shows that we have kids engaging, but unfortunately not enough funds to help them all. That is that's my highlight.
Is that something that you're saying you could potentially look to the youth bureau for funding or supplement or no?
I didn't really think about using the youth bureau funds for youth wages and fringes. That might be something where in the past we received some triple FS funds.
Yep.
We could potentially, if we have kids we have to turn away, look at maybe receiving some of those triple FS funds to reinstate that youth program and use those funds to not turn anybody away. And definitely we will be applying for some youth bureau funds again this year, which is how we supported our STEM event. And applying through that and possibly some other ideas that I have through youth programming that we don't have funds for.
And I should know this, but the youth are 16 to 21. I mean, what is the age of the
So for summer, yes. No, I'm sorry. For summer, it's 14.
14?
14 to 21. And our year-round federal program is 16 to 24.
Oh, okay.
So it's hard to place the 14-year-olds
Yeah.
because they can't do certain things. And then with the older kids, sometimes they want to make more than minimum wage. Our program is minimum wage, but we have a lot of 14 and 15-year-olds in the program. That's all I have.
Anything else for Kelly? Thank you, Kelly. Yeah.
So I am heavily in fair mode right now. Our fair is going to be July 29th through August 2nd, and I have schedules.
Okay, sure.
The Union Springs Fire Department, we are partnering with our neighbors from Seneca County. They had a little friction with their fair, so their 4-H'ers are going to come over and exhibit their projects with us as well. So right now we have 80 youth signed up to either exhibit livestock or something in the building. Should have all gotten an invitation this week to participate in our livestock show for elected officials on Saturday. And certainly appreciate if you can come then, but if that doesn't work, please come out to any of the other events that we're having during the fair. That's pretty much what I have for tonight.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
It's been fair mode.
Yeah.
Fair mode for the next 6 weeks or so.
Thank you, Dan. No report from Kyle, so Doug, you're up.
Thank you and good evening, everyone. I did send a report in. As I looked at the bottom of it, I don't know if it says report attached for the museum and the nature center. Does it say that? Was there anything attached? If it does, I have the museum reports.
You do.
Excuse me, and the nature center reports here, so I can
No, you do.
provide this. Are they in there?
Yep.
Okay, they're in there. Okay, 2 different copies. Thank you. Obviously, we just got done with the July 3rd event, which is a very heavy lift for the emergency management department, our local fire departments, the state police, and the sheriff's department. It was a great event. It was a capacity crowd for us. We couldn't park any more cars. We actually, at some point, had to close off all of our parking and turn folks away. So obviously, we can't handle more than we can park. I think that all of our law enforcement our partners do a great job of actually controlling traffic on the way out and on the way in. It is a significant lift for us. I mean, we estimate anywhere from 8,000 to 10,000 people come within the park. Obviously, the larger number in the surrounding area is not included in that. So obviously, we just want to say thank you to all those departments because it was a great evening for it, and all of the vendors and all of the guests that we're aware of had a great time. So we obviously appreciate all their support. We continue on with our concert series. It's actually tonight. So at 6 o'clock, we'll be having music over there. We did run the Prison City Car Show. That was a capacity crowd also. We fill our parking multiple times. They had over 700 cars come to that show. It's obviously one of the longest running shows that's out there. So we're obviously very proud of that. And we continue to support the pavilion with the wedding season that they have, which is extensive. A lot of events up at the Nature Center and obviously the theater too. So There was a lot in the report. A lot of it was updates on, on current fundraising efforts from the Friends. Contract renewals, which are obviously ongoing. We're working extensively with Amanda O'Grady right now. We're working on the RFP that's going to go out for the pavilion catering contract. That is for 27, 28, 29, 30, and 31. We extended the contract, the current one, through this year and next year to be able to go out to RFP for that contract. So you'll see more on that probably in September.
Okay. Got a lot of good feedback from the events, so thank you
Great.
for that.
Thank you.
Great.
That work, you were mentioned
Super.
at our JPS about the collaboration between our justice individuals and you.
Yeah, great.
And making that such a phenomenal event.
Yep.
And seeing the beauty for the residents, given that crowd size.
Yeah, and I think the plan that goes into it is we have a team that's been around for a while, so they're doing pretty well. So yeah, we appreciate their help. Thanks.
Is there conversations with merry-go-round, or are you still working through?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, with their long-term contract with sorry, not long-term, but with the new contract. Yeah.
okay, so A&M or the pavilion contract for the catering is 5 years and that's up for renewal. And
Yes.
then there's also discussions with merry-go-round.
Already ongoing. Yep.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay, anything else for Doug? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, I don't see Karen on the telly. We have her report. It looks like without further ado, that concludes our meeting. If there's any business before the board,
Motion to adjourn?
motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Carried.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, let's do a roll call. Legislator Daley,
Here,
Legislator Nightingale,
Present?
Legislator Peacher. Hans?
Petra,
Sorry. I and Legislator Strong is absent today. Been excused. Okay, can I get a motion to approve the minutes on June 12th, 2025?
Nightingale, move it.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. And Keith, you want to step up? You want anything in the report? You want anything? And
Yeah,
Chantel,
questions.
Lindsay? Yes.
Got it.
Anybody any questions for Keith?
Yeah, one thing I will specifically point out, we put it in the report, but there was a question, I think, last month about what duplicate registrations are. And the concern being that people could vote twice. Well, that's not the case. And we're going to change that in the future to say already registered, because that's who these people are. And they come about in two ways. One is someone goes to DMV or several other agencies, DSS, the Veterans Affairs, and a couple of others. And they fill out a form, and part of the form says, do you want to be registered? And they just check that because filling out, those forms. You're just trying to get through it. Well, if someone checks that, it has to come to us. And if that person is already registered, it has to be processed. We can't just say they're already registered. So it's processed. The other way, when people move, the registration is transferred from one county to another. There's a statewide system called Nice Voter that registers everyone in New York State or records everyone who's registered anywhere in New York State. And when someone moves county to county, we are notified if someone's moved from another county to us. If someone moves from Cayuga County to another county, they're notified, and the local county has to process that. So that's what that is. So it's really a duplicate registration. The state calls it that's what the state calls a duplicate. It's really not really a duplication, but really already registered. So we'll change that in the future report. One of the questions I ask in that, you don't have to decide this tonight, but let us know. If things like that are confusing, it's absolutely possible that we can simply, at the end of the year, collect all that data and report it at once. We just picked up what people have done in the past, and in the past, the commissioners have reported these numbers. So just let us know what you want to do.
So if I check, I want to register, but I'm already registered. I'm not showing up twice. You process it to eliminate me?
No, we don't. We just know that you already.
Oh, I thought you said we have to process.
We have to process the DMV form.
Okay, but then you'll notice I've already registered and there's no action.
But,
Okay.
for example, and that's thank you for doing that. Let's say that which happens all the time. Let's say that since the last time you did a DMV form, you've moved, but you didn't tell us, and you put the new address in your DMV form. We do process then a change of address form.
Okay.
So we have actually two transactions.
Okay.
And that's the way they're recorded, change of address and an already registered.
So you deal with the form. If nothing's changed, you just disregard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Actually, never mind. I almost said something that would amuse me, but no one else in the room, so I'm not.
Uh-huh.
Look how I've matured over the
Yeah,
years.
really.
I had this, I like it.
You've matured.
All right. Any other questions for Keith? Okay, I'm gonna go online to Roy Fitzpatrick for Campus C. Roy, can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Yes, I can hear you. Yep. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
You're on, Roy.
Yeah, so we've been on board for just a little over a month here. Been doing our due diligence with the process, acquiring reports, gathering our information. We've obtained reports from Lozier, Colliers, and the county. The last couple weeks, we've been focused on securing the basement access, which was happening today, tomorrow, and Sunday with both the vendors and the staff. We're in a good place with the basement aspect of it. The staff going forward will have more access and options, and we are still pursuing another full access option where they don't need Sessler on site when they come aboard. We have a site visit scheduled for the third week of July. We're going to come in and go in the building, take a look around. We have not been in there yet. We do have floor plans and other things, but we have not been inside the building. And we continue to meet regularly with Jonathan and staff. We're preparing an estimate and cost analysis that we'll be presenting to the legislator. We're going to continue to organize and manage the process so we can move it as quickly and efficiently as possible.
Thank you. Any questions for Roy?
Roy, I was involved in one of the meetings that you were at, and my takeaway was after you secure the basement and help us get to the equipment down there, it's your plan to bring forward estimates of options that the county can consider. So here are some of the options the county might consider, and you're going to put an estimated cost from the resources you have on them. And then once we pick some options to investigate, you'll help with the RFP for those options. Is that kind of fair to say?
Yeah, we want to put together a detailed estimate on each option so that you guys can make an educated decision and one that's right for the taxpayers. And there's going to be probably numerous options and with varying costs. So once the county decides where they want to go, or at least limit it down, we would love to be part of that process going forward.
And the options we might consider is rehabbing the building, remediating it, doing something totally different. I mean, is that sort of what you're thinking?
Yes. Yep. So obviously there's a bunch of options. Obviously the first one we're looking into is getting that building clean and remediating it and seeing what that cost is.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there. But that's obviously the first one that we want to get out of the way. And then obviously we'll see what that leads, and that will kind of dictate what the options are going forward. If that's obviously affordable and a way to go. But if it's not, then we have to look into the other options.
Okay, so if the first option is cost prohibitive, we'll be seeing those kind of things and going from there?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Anybody else?
Yeah. How soon might we expect some kind of answer?
Well, we're not giving you any answers. We're going to give you options, and we should be able to get those with all the information that we're collecting. We're hoping to present with you guys with some options in September.
There you go.
Because you're still collecting information, is that true?
That's true. Yeah, and we're putting together a very detailed estimate. This is not going to be a high level estimate. This could be very detailed with an explanation of what we're doing. It's not, it's just not X amount of dollars to remediate the building. We're going to explain exactly in that estimate of what that contains, and acquiring that information and putting that estimate together takes time, and also, like you said, gathering information that we don't currently have that we're getting and putting together.
Yep.
Just for an update, I had a conference call this morning with Rory, and they did request additional information from the county. We are going to get that information to them in the next few weeks, and then they can move forward. So right now the timeline's on us to get them the additional information so they can proceed as described. So we had that call today, and we're in the process of getting that accomplished in the next few weeks.
Yeah, and we're still working as they're getting that information. We're putting together the information that we have, and we'll plug the holes when the county gets us that information.
Legislator Nightingale?
So, this is to both of you. Would that additional information include the groundwork we did 2 years ago on building renovation?
They have that information. I believe they're gonna get an updated takeoff number. For
Exactly.
that. The information in question really had to do with inventory as far as contents and what's inside to get a more accurate reflection of the cost of removal and cleaning items that are inside the building at this time.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a question. How confident are you in that you could have some type of options for us in September? And is this going to be the beginning of September or toward the end of September? Because we're all anxious for this information.
Yeah, so obviously we want to get this information to you guys as quickly as possible. We understand timeless. What we don't want to be is giving you numbers that don't mean anything, and we want to be as detailed as possible. So we're confident that we'll be getting you guys information in September. I'm assuming it's going to be at a legislative meeting, so that you would have to tell me when the dates are in September. But we're confident that we're on the right pace right now to be able to do that.
Good. Anything else? Thank you, Roy.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sheila,
It's not online.
she's not online? Okay. And Fred has no updates?
Actually, we do just real briefly on the sales tax. The request for home legislation has been passed by the Senate and the Assembly. It's awaiting the governor's call for signature. Time-wise, assuming that she signs it, once she signs it, we have to do the resolution to actually implement it. That has to be postmarked and sent back to the state tax and finance by the 1st of September. If the governor doesn't get to it in a timely fashion, so we can do that, there is a process where we can ask for a certain waiver. But we would, at the last possible date, would be November 1. Typically, tax and finance wants to have our resolution 90 days ahead of the quarter. That would be September.
Is this for the additional 1% tax to stay in place? That's what you're talking about?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
So
I spoke with the governor's office yesterday. And, actually Tuesday, they got back to me with the answer yesterday. As Rachel May is carrying our bill on the Senate side, her legislation has not been called up yet by the governor. She has signed some counties, but ours has not been called up yet. So I'm working to find out what it's going to be.
There's generally not a risk in terms of timing about a denial to continue something that's been in force. Is that your understanding or?
yes, I mean, there's little risk that she won't sign it.
Yeah.
The question is just a matter of timing.
Yep.
In times past, I've seen these situations don't come up, and so that you have to request the waiver, but you still get it in.
Mhm.
The governor is aware of the timing as well.
Yep.
Any other additional questions? Okay, thank you. So, Sheila Patterson's up. She's our intern county clerk. Shelley. Sorry, I'm having vision problems today, okay? So, do you have anything you want to say about your report? Any information you want to give to us?
No, I know DMV.
Not on the report itself. Is there any questions on the report?
I think it's really detailed report. I saw this earlier and I really like it. It's probably the more detail I've seen in a while. So thank you. But does anybody have any questions? Ms. Legislative Nightingale has.
I concur with the detail. It's very, very helpful. When you say like DMV June 2025 retention, is that would that mean a transaction where someone is staying? What does that retention actually mean? Someone is,
So for the transactions processed in our office, 10.75% of that amount stays within Cayuga County. So that's the retention that the county gets to keep from that transaction.
and then you break that out with the online retention versus the in-office. Okay. Thank you.
And is the takeaway from this report that, you know, in the budget, you had $600,000 in revenue and the year to date is that total amount and we're through half the year?
Correct.
So unless something substantially changes, we're going to be online to hit that revenue number or exceed it?
Correct.
Okay.
Job. It's the job. Any additional questions? Move right on to Tom Bond.
So good evening. You have my report. I did want to add one item that's not on there, and that is Sunday's work, as Rory mentioned on the call. Folks from IT that have been properly test fitted and have all the protocols to enter the building will be doing so on Sunday to work on our firewall project, which will provide an upgrade to the hardware, but also help with phase one of the data center relocation piece, which is going to be obviously a huge component. So it will remove some old hardware and help us start that process as well. So I wanted to mention that. In terms of completed projects, we were able to successfully move all staff into 63 Genesee Street. So from an IT perspective, we are considering that project closed, which is now helping us move to some, kind of some stale projects, if you will, that we have not been able to get to in quite some time. One of which is the .gov migration that was kind of on hold. So we did kind of reactivate that project this week. We started with the Board of Elections. We did get those all staff migrated over to the .gov domain. And then we will start to continue that process starting next week with additional departments with the intention to move the entire county by the end of this summer, including our website. So there won't be much impact to communications or obviously we'll have some communications out to the public, letting them know, but you'll be able to access all of our resources utilizing the CayugaCounty.us domain. Everything will automatically redirect to the new one. So it will be seamless. The only impact to departments will be when you do reprint your materials such as business cards and such, they should be reflected with the domain. But that's one project that we're working on. And then just to update you on the shared services, kind of agreement that we have with the city of Auburn, that's continuing to go well. We are actually starting next week with some on-site IT support because what we're learning is it's kind of a hurdle for the staff over there. This is the first time that they're utilizing a true IT help desk. So tickets are coming in, but I would like to get a presence out there and kind of rebuild the culture around IT support and really show them the job that we can do. So there's going to be some staff there part-time starting next week. We are also helping them right now with a couple of their Munis projects to help them kind of standardize on some functions that we already have in place. So that's good. Then I can focus my attention working with Mary Beth Leeson over there on looking at some shared services and how we can identify some of those costs. I know one thing we're potentially looking at, there was some discussion around occupancy tax software, which potentially both the city and the county were looking at. So we're kind of having some of those discussions starting next week. But those will continue on bi-weekly with Mary Beth.
One question.
Go ahead.
In your opinion, I know that the access to the basement is helping with that, but the data center should get moved as soon as practical.
Absolutely.
And this is the beginning. And when do you assume that would be completed?
So really, I think the biggest hang up on our end is going to be the fiber installation that has to happen with third-party vendors. I've already executed those contracts, so that's in place. I have a project manager that's assigned to that entire project for us. So we're going to be starting those conversations next week. My anticipation, I estimated between 90 and 120 days. I'm going to be pushing for that as fast as possible. Once that fiber is run, We're going to be moving some hardware into the space.
Because we're leasing fiber in this new way and we're getting rid of the ones we own. Is that,
That is
that's
correct.
the vendor you're waiting for?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Heidi?
Tom, I just wanted to give you some feedback. I spoke to some city leaders and, while you feel you're a little behind on the project, the collaborative IT work with Munis, they're feeling very happy about this, very confident and very happy. But of course, I think all of us around this table and in this room have always been happy with your work, so I wasn't surprised to hear. Thank you.
Awesome. It's great to hear.
Anything else for Tom? All right, thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Kevin?
Hello there. It's
How you
raining
doing?
outside. Raining outside. I didn't want to come out.
Mhm.
You have my report. We're keeping busy here. We actually, one thing that's not on here, and Carrie I think is left already, but we've been tagging along with her strategic planning events. I was down in Locke on Tuesday, out at Bosse's last night, and my deputy director is up in Ira tonight. And didn't have any veterans yesterday, but down in Locke we had a few down there. And the other thing I was able to do and I kicked out is there was a military band in Auburn at Hoops Park last night, and the weather was awesome. So I went out there, set up my table, talked to the coordinator of the band, and they gave me a little intro and had some veterans come over and talk to me after that concert. We're handing out farmers market coupons, which is a really good in to talk to veterans. I talked to one veteran last night who was in the Navy off the coast of Vietnam, and he potentially could have benefits. So that's the kind of thing we're doing to get out there and find some of these veterans that have not applied for benefits. Signed up for the Moravia Fair next week, so we'll be down south. Looking for some other events throughout the summer as well. And I think that's enough to keep us busy for a while, pending your questions.
No, thank you for all your hard work and your service.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have two resolutions. I'm gonna start off with the community college one right here, which is GO2, approving the 2025-26 budget for Cayuga County Community College.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So for any of you that don't know me, I am Kelly Albrecht, the CFO from the college. I hope everyone was able to look at the summary that I had sent. Just a couple points I want to point out on this. This is based on an FTE of 1,760 students. I feel that is very conservative. For 24-25, we had 1,800 students already. So I do feel that that is a number we can safely get to without a far reach. Tuition is up 3% for students. There are no other increases in fees or anything else. Our biggest cost, of course, is salaries and benefits. As everyone knows, Elaine knows, the health insurance is going up. That is about 85% of our total budget. We did have a nice fund balance of about 11 million this year. So Dr. Durant made the decision to take any equipment pre-buy. So we're pre-buying those for next year, hopefully save on some of the cost of buying them later on. And so we were about $600,000 able to buy this year that we can took out of this budget. So it gives us a better cushion for next year if any other items come up that we have to pay. And that is really all I had, unless you have any other questions. And
I do have one.
Yeah.
What do you anticipate enrollment will be this year? I know you said it's gonna be over 1,700, but.
that is for the budget, for 24 or 25-26 budget. That is what we're estimating. Right now, as of this point today, we are at 1,843 FTE for 24-25. And we have summer second is just starting. So it'll be up a little bit more, but not much. And we have fall coming in already, so.
Okay.
And this budget contains the sponsor from the county?
It does, yeah. Thank you for, we are asking for that remained flat. So it's $3.2 million remaining flat.
Which it was 47,000 up last year.
Right,
Now
yes.
this year, there's no change at all.
Correct. There is no change whatsoever. Yeah. So yes, we have asked for an increase the last 3 years, I said, but yeah, this year is nothing. So we do appreciate all that you've done for us. So. So I'm just here to ask for your support and
If anybody doesn't have any questions, let's vote on it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh,
We need to
get
move
it first? Did I get it first? Look.
a motion to put GO1 on the table.
Yeah.
Two.
A two.
Yep. Motion GO2.
Second it. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
We have another resolution, which is GO1, authorize the transfer funds of Cayuga County Clerk's budget. Can I get a motion to put on the table?
I'll move it for discussion.
Nightingale? Second?
Okay.
I did ask a couple questions about this resolution, because it seemed, I didn't understand if we had approved a part-time position. But basically, there was a person supporting the department for the grant that you had. And if we pass this, you're asking to take money from the salary line because you have a number of vacancies and move it into the professional services line so you can continue to get some support of a part-time contractor? Is that sort of how that goes?
Sort of. She retired from our office. So when they had to do our office, Dreams Project,
Yep.
where she was granted from, they were sort of done with her position. So at the time when sort of fell into place, she was still looking to work and we really needed her expertise.
So she's moving from the 100% Dreams Project to staying on till the end of the year
Yeah, so.
to support the vacancies in the
Yeah, so
clerk's
that's what
office?
happened. So for the media to get her started, because we're in a situation.
Yeah.
We took it out of our professional fees, which is our scanning projects and our back scan and all that. So we already had that money in there.
Oh, you are? Uh-huh.
Yeah, so we had the money we budgeted. We were just asking to put the money back
But
on the salary.
you're decreasing the salary line and moving it into the professional line. That's what caught me off guard. So
Yeah.
she won't stay as a part-time employee. She'll
No, just through the end of the year is what we're figuring.
under contract
Yes.
out of your
Yeah.
professional services line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
You opposed? All right, congratulations. Can I get we'll move this executive session, so this is the first time, do we vote on moving, going to executive session? I need a first and second to move into executive session. And I'm gonna ask staff of the DMV to come in as well as the clerk, intern clerk.
I'll make a motion for executive session.
I'll second it.
Okay.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.